Are you serious? Are you serious? Euthanasia? Belgium? What? Get a cup of coffee. This world's getting wicked. And there's just, well, here's what's going on. Okay, I want to thank Sheila Clemens of Alabama for sending this to me. But Belgium, who already has euthanasia, by the way, the Netherlands were first, and Belgium is second, that legally have euthanasia. If you're over the age of 18, you have a terminally ill, you can choose to have your life ended medically with the assistance of a doctor and a prescription. Well, Belgium is considering a significant change to the decade-old euthanasia law that would allow minors and Alzheimer sufferers to seek permanent permission to die. Now, the proposed changes to the law were submitted to the Parliament Tuesday, June the 11th, 2013, by the Socialist Party and are likely to be approved by the other parties, although no date has yet been put forward for a parliamentary debate. The idea is to update the law to take better account of the dramatic situations and extremely harrowing cases we must find a response to, said the party leader. The draft legislation calls for the law to be extended to minors if they are capable of discernment or affected by an incurable illness or suffering that we cannot alleviate. Belgium was the second country in the world after the Netherlands to legalize euthanasia back in the year 2002. But it applies only to people over the age of 18 right now. Socialist Senator Philippe Marx, who helped draft the proposed changes, said there had been cases of adolescents who had the capacity and capability to decide their own future. He said parliamentary vote would also consider extending mercy killing to people suffering from Alzheimer's type illnesses. Now, euthanasia was allowed to an Alzheimer patient for the first time in the Netherlands last year. In Belgium, get this, in Belgium, 1,133 cases, mostly from terminal cancer, were recorded in the year 2011, which was 1% of all the deaths in the country of Belgium. So, you say, well, Pastor Begley, we're evolving, we're reflecting on our humanity. We realize that we're vulnerable, and maybe the weakest among us need to be let go. As long as it's not me. Look, when you start euthanasia, you start with abortion, then you move on to euthanasia, the elderly, the dying, what, now the young, because the young have an incurable disease or condition. Where do we draw the line here? Autistic children? Where do we draw the line here? The little girl that needs a lung transplant at age 11? Where do we draw the line here? What do you want to do? Just eliminate all of the weak and sickly among us? The old and the elderly and the slowly dying? Just look, when you let the genie out of the bottle, you can't put it back in. Once you start comfortably feeling confident about mercy killing, euthanasia, outright murder, whatever you want to call it, who's going to determine who has the right to end their own life? And then the next step is, who has the same people that can determine who's eligible to die? Well, why don't we just let them decide who gets to die? And we can put them all in FEMA camps, process people. And if you don't pass the physical test, because you may pollute the gene pool genetically, well, we just start eliminating people. Is that what we're talking about? Is this a socialistic, a communistic regime thought process that could go worldwide? Or is this the beginning, laying the groundwork for the ethics of a new world order? See, we're living in the last days. We need to pray. We need to pray. Because you think things are bad now? You haven't seen anything yet. It's getting worse. And it's going to get a whole lot worse. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. The Bible said, as it was in the days of Lot, so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the coming of the Son of Man. Who is going to make these decisions? And if they have the ability to decide who has the right to choose to die, even children, what, you're going to ask a 5-year-old autistic child, are you tired of being autistic? Would you like to die? Is that what you would? Or are you just going to let the physicians decide who is too weak, too sickly, too close to death, too incurable to deal with? The cost is just too outrageous to try to sustain certain life forms, like everybody on a ventilator, unplug them all at once. Is that what we're saying here? Every small child in neonatal centers, prematurely born, just let them go? I mean, who's going to make these decisions? Obviously, God's not getting to. Oh, I forgot. In the New World Order, there is no God except man, the God he creates within himself, and Lucifer, who is feeding their minds with these evil thoughts. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. Please, give your life to Jesus Christ, because believe me, we are living, absolutely living, in the last days. God bless.